Itachi. You know what I'm saying?
So to start this episode off, yeah, I just asked him as I was about to click play. Yeah, like, what's your favorite anime character? What do you think he said? What did you say?
I said Itachi.
Why you say Itachi? Because my favorite is Itachi, and bears with you must think. Itachi's probably your favorite as well.
Yeah, I see myself in him so much, like what he represents. So, like, I've got a little brother. So when I see Itachi and Sasuke's dynamic, it's just like, and the ultimate sacrifice he made for what he believes in, but then his little brother, the love for that was still so strong. That,
he's mad stoic, isn't it?
Yeah.
He came in with a stoic book, by the way. I can see the link already. You like to think stoically. But you know, Itachi to me, and this is a strong like anime comment here, but I feel like Naruto is only good because of the Uchihas. To me, other than the Uchihas, other than Minato probably, nothing really appeals to me other than that.
Yeah.
It's just something about Itachi, Madara and all them. Like, they're just so cold. The Sharingans, the Renegans.
I think because the nostalgia as well. Like on Cartoon Network back in the day. Like, it was just there, do you know what I'm saying? So I remember Rock Lee.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm capping. Rock Lee as well. Rock Lee too. I forgot about him. He's cold. But he reminds me of Bruce Lee a little bit.
Okay.
And have you ever watched like Kung Fu films with like Drunken Masters and stuff? Yeah?
Yes.
There's a film out there you need to watch called Ong Bak, yeah? This film is brazy. Okay. But it's not up there with The Raid. You watched The Raid?
No.
I hope they scorn him in the comments, bro. The Raid, is the coldest film, bro. Raid 1 and Raid 2.
I'll watch him.
It's like a video game. It's like 20 blocks or whatever. And one guy basically fights all the way to the top to fight the boss.
Oh,
it's like a video game.
I think I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
Mad scenes, bro.
But yeah, the only thing with Naruto is like we mentioned Rock Lee, you're like, oh my, it's because they did not develop those characters in Shippuden. Like, I feel like
that's
after.
True.
But yeah.
But where's Rock Lee gonna get screen time over Uchihas and...
True.
He's just a sick side character. He's good when he comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that Garo scene, that fight.
Oh, bro, that was crazy. Or Might Guy when he went... What was it?
Released to the gates.
Yeah, all the 8 gates. Yeah. That was crazy, bro. Anyway, anime is special, man. What is it about anime for you like?
I love... Because, like, I saw recently, I was looking into, like, Western versus Eastern storytelling.
Okay, nice.
And, like, anime draws on so many, like, different concepts and fleshes out characters and makes them like relatable.
Yeah, it definitely
I feel
does.
like a lot of Western storytelling is like this idealistic, the hero, happily ever after. But anime explores so many different sides that it makes you
it's actually true.
Empathize and understand people's stories. So yeah.
You know what I think as well? You're right. I want to disagree, but I can't. Only reason saying is because you see like Western characters and stories, it's too individualized on them.
Yeah.
And it's about what their relationships are in their life, what they're thinking. It's too psychological in it. You don't really get expansive explanations. In anime, Eastern and storytelling, you can't really talk about the character without talking about society. The character is a story of his relationship with society. Right. But in the West, it's not really a relationship with society. Yeah. It's and if it is, it's an indoctrinating kind of story.
Right.
But what's your top 3 animes you've watched? And we haven't even planned to do this, by the way.
Yeah, this is off the cuff.
This is off the cuff.
Top 3. It's so crazy. JJK is my top 3, even though it's new gen. Disclaimer, like, I love anime, but I wouldn't say I'm only getting into like actually.
Okay, you're new. Even better, man.
Yeah.
Even better.
So top 3, JJK, Naruto, and Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, Hunter, special, bro. Special. It's my favourite.
Same.
My favourite as well.
Same, it's mad.
Hunter and Bleach for me, but Hunter is special, bro.
Yeah.
It's too many. You try and predict do you like to predict the story before it ends? That's me. But Hunter kept
bro.
Wait, I'm thinking, this is obvious. This is what's gonna happen, and it does it's an Uno reverse card every time.
Yeah. And the worst thing is like when Crap got killed, the first member of the Phantom Troop, so early on, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like this early is done.
Oh yeah, Kurapika.
But then my boy that was like ahead of the game, manga, everything, he's telling me they kind of just like the story doesn't get finished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the saddest thing. But maybe that's why I like it.
Yeah, because the Hunter writer, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he has something really bad with his back. And you know manga writers, they sit all day writing. So a lot of them get bad back scoliosis and stuff like that. And bears are so ill. Yeah. Or suicidal.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's a great example of you give so much of yourself, these amazing stories, the world building, the character building, but the individual, the writer himself, suffers at the hands of it.
Do you think
it's a
these
sad
people
exchange.
are geniuses, and it's always the ones
geniuses, bro.
The ones that create the most transformative work here are the most effed up people.
Oh man,
do you know what I'm saying? To a degree, I feel like there comes a cost,
it's because they have a different aesthetic taste. You get what I'm saying? Like their tastes, the way they see the world, they're artists. They don't look at things in a normal way. So their aesthetic tastes are so different. It's sour to us. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Even in a friendship circle, if all of us got a KA and that one guy got a mango drink, it might sound like a stretch, but if you notice it, you will notice it. And it's like, what, is he not back in the thing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's it's just interesting how that works.
But then, I mean, everyone's their own individual. I think it's just being able to just express, with these artists, it's crazy,
and them artists are the other ones out.
Yeah, the characters they come up with, the storylines, and this where they're getting these ideas from.
You got to think about it. They're creating a whole world. You know how mad that is?
I know.
From their imagination, they've created a universe. That to me is genius. It's talent. It's the highest form of imagination.
I always think some stories you see, they set things up from early. So then I always think is it a point where they know the story and where it's going, or are they literally, oh crap, I'm kind of making up as I go along certain arcs?
Who cares? That's the whole point of being an artist.
Yeah.
They're using their intuition step by step. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the whole point of it. A true artist isn't someone who sits there, has everything planned, and he executes it. That's a scientist. An artist is not a scientist. Right. An artist is someone who uses the intuitive feel and navigates the story as they go. Yeah. He's probably got to moments before and then moment of genius, inspiration, he knows what to do. It's like he's finding the light as he walks, some of them. I think, Itachi to me is an example of that. I think in the normal Naruto, you can tell he's just a straight villain, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? But I feel like somewhere along the line, I think his name's Kishimoto, he might have just thought, a genius inspiration. Maybe if I turn Itachi this way, it'll benefit the story this way. What we're going to do, scorn him for changing his idea. He's the artist, bro. It's his vision. Who are we to say? We're the ones meant to clap and applaud him, bro. Not tell him how to do his craft.
I mean, and even what Itachi stood for, everything aside, when I was seeing this guy as a kid, this guy's aura is just clear, clean, the coolest guy. When he just came, the hood, the eyes.
Even the fight of Sasuke, just sitting back.
Literally, bro.
He goes, come.
And you're thinking Sasuke's getting strong. I really just dealt with him
but somewhere you knew one of these guys are going to die in this fight, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be Itachi, man. But he went out like a hero, bro.
Yeah. Honestly. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's
the ultimate sacrifice, literally.
Yeah. Is there any Western stories you like? Other than anime, say classic films, childhood shows growing up, and let's observe why you like them.
Ooh. What can I say with that? My mind's gone blank with that one, Films, can I go films?
Yeah, anything.
One of my favourite ever
media,
films.
Entertainment, anything.
Yeah, Law-Abiding Citizen.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I know that film.
You haven't seen that film?
Nah.
What?
I know it's a brazy film.
You're violating,
You scorned me, man. I'm sorry.
That film. I love that film.
I've seen it though, on
So,
I sometimes Google
do you know
best films of all time.
What the premise of it is about?
I'm not even going to embarrass myself. What is it?
So basically, it's a guy. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, I don't know how. But his family gets killed early on by two guys that just basically come into his house. His wife and daughter. So then after, he's a wealthy guy, and then basically Jamie Foxx plays a guy who works to prosecute the murderers, right? And it basically, the whole film is about highlighting how flawed the justice system is in Western society.
Nice.
So basically, Jamie Foxx, to uphold his reputation, he goes for sometimes easy kills in terms of how can I make sure I get a prosecution, get this guy sent to jail over what's deemed as morally correct.
Like career hungry.
Career hungry, yeah. Over what's deemed morally correct. So the two perpetrators, one of them was the leader.
Okay.
But the leader kind of was in a better position. He had more leverage when they were getting prosecuted. And Jamie Foxx went with a death sentence on the guy that wasn't the main guy.
Okay,
And
now
so
it's yeah.
so the guy, the main guy played by Gerard Butler, he sees this happening now, and it just sparks something in him.
He needs to squish that corruption quick.
Literally, bro. And then he goes about he basically just proves how the justice system is flawed and makes everyone just look like idiots.
It's one of those films that you can't watch. You got to kind of watch it for entertainment, but at the same time keep some realism there too.
I think like films and stuff I love are ones that like, if you want an easy watch, pure entertainment action, you got that. But at the same time, if you watch it again, or the
best example of that is Mr. Bean, bro. You're not sitting there watching Mr. Bean trying to analyze society. You're just let him just act like a fool, man. Yeah. Mr. Bean is interesting.
Literally.
I read something in philosophy once. Yeah, it was like, you know what laughter is? Yeah, all laughter is just a reaction to the ludicrous. Like your mind is always trying to put cause and effect, 2 and 2 together all the time. Yeah. And when 2 and 2 comes together, but it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense, it's ludicrous in a way. So your natural reaction, because you can't control laughter, can you? No. Like it's an involuntary act. So it's a reaction to what's ludicrous.
But then a lot of people fake laughter and force laughter.
That's true, but we're talking genuine laughter.
Yeah, genuine laughter.
Like, genuine
when
laughter.
It's genuine, it's
like it's involuntary. Like in school, because your mind is putting all these things together, it's rationalizing everything, and the only conclusion you come to is ludicrous. and
the one where it's like you can't, like, it's especially when you're not meant to laugh, like as you said in school, like that's when it's just
literally when you're not meant to laugh it's a ludicrous situation. There's another thing as well. It's like, okay, say you the subject adopt the characteristics of an object. That's considered humorous. So if you act like a plank and just fall over, your mind registers as a plank falling over,
right?
But it's realistic. You know what I'm trying to say? You're acting like an object. Okay. So we find it funny.
Yes. Okay.
It's weird how the mind works. I can't explain it. Another funny one is like, I can think of another one. Okay, when someone like bro, there's so many ones. My mind is going through so many right now.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, when I look at some stand-up comedians, I'm just like, wow. But because with like comedy and laughter, like the best times are like literally so spontaneous. But then some stand-up comedians kind of come up with a storyline.
Yeah, they're storytellers.
Storytellers, right?
Yeah.
And it's also like the topics they talk about can be extremely serious or like extremely tragic.
Dave Chappelle, innit? He's my favourite.
Yeah. Comedies, I love laughing. That's what life's about, man. Honestly.
Have you got any like artists that you like who are storytellers?
Like musicians?
Yeah, musicians.
That's storytellers. I'm gonna be honest, yeah. My favourite artist is Travis Scott.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because, like, well, first of all, his production, the way I feel listening to his music. And I've seen him perform live. There is no artist. Like, I mean, I'm not the most. I haven't seen a lot, but his energy is infectious. Like when people are collapsing at his concerts, it's because he literally like exudes like
chaos.
Yes, and it's very liberating.
Liberation, interesting.
Yeah, like when he's just shouting, he's just like and then it's almost like a bubble of just chaos and energy, like all intertwined. And you're all inside of it. Yeah. I think he talks about just chaos of the mind sometimes, like. And he's not the most talented lyrically, that sort of stuff, but he knows how to like. He's like a valve release. Yeah. Damn, you know what my opinion on Travis Scott is? It's so contradictory to yours, isn't it? You see how I feel like mumble music and SoundCloud music, or you know that's like Travis Scott. Yeah. I view them as like dopamine rappers, innit? Okay. Like I think they're exploiting the dopamine rushes. Right. I think they just study human behavior really well. Right. They know what reacts really good, like there's certain frequency noises, certain beats with the lyrics and certain echoes. Like it is a very escapey feeling. But I think it's all behavioral tested. Yeah. You know? I think in terms of that, I'd say like the other side of it, like where because even me, like in terms of music, I didn't really get into music growing up. Like, interesting. I was a bookworm, innit? Okay. And like I remember like Tubiddy and these things back in the day. Like, I was late to it. Yeah. But then recently, like the best tracks and the best artists are the ones that make people feel heard. Like music of it is an expression, And when you
That's true, yeah.
resonate with the artist, it's like people, like, if they're sad, why do they listen to sad music? Because you want to feel like you're being felt at that moment.
Share the pain with someone.
Right.
And the artist the musician in a way is kind of like a virtual therapist.
Yes.
Without words, but with words.
Literally.
You know?
Careless Whisper.
Yeah, Careless Whisper. Yeah. See, I don't think that's dopamine music. Bro.
That's not dopamine.
I think
music.
That's real, true expression of the soul, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
But I just the Travis Scotts and stuff. I don't know. But you're right though, because at the end of the day, I'm just looking at it in a critical lens. And I always say, contradictory to what I always say, is that to enjoy art, you have to appreciate it. But I guess I'm probably so in love with a different art, I have to criticize others.
So who's your favorite then?
Oh, hard. I would say my favorite rapper, since we're on Travis Scott kind of genre, is Biggie Smalls, bro. Biggie Smalls to me is, if you close your eyes and imagine the perfect rapper, it would be Biggie Smalls, bro. His lyric flow, his storytelling, his swag. He's a fat boy and ugly, but he looks good. You know what I'm trying to say? He's the total definition of, like, his character doesn't even, you ignore what he looks like in the end, because he's a phenom, bro. Biggie's something else. But I'm funded, but Tupac is also one of my favorites. I think they're just they're two lightning strikes. They're two. Man, you're gonna get none like them two again.
Like, what's your take on, like, how? I mean, that era was crazy, bro. And then compared to today, like you mentioned the dopamine rappers, like, do you believe, like,
because I tell you why,
the industry's changed and that sort of stuff?
For sure. I don't want to talk the industry because I'm not an expert on the industry, but I'm going to just talk about it from, I guess, an observatory creative to a creative.
Yeah.
When I can imagine this, say these beats they had back in the day, it was very skippity. Like, it was very, you have to, like, it's very hard to kind of rap to them kind of beats. Do you know why? Not a lot of people do it nowadays. Them beats back in the 90s, early 2000s are not easy. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, the bars they're spitting, you have to think about them bars. Like, you have to sit there. You're telling me Nas just in the studio one day, probably some of the tunes, because he's just an intuitive genius. That's, geniuses are the ones that can walk in and write where they want to go in. Biggie, Tupac, Nas can do it, Jay-Z can do it, Kanye, but random guy Lewisham can't do that, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? He has to sit there 4 or 5 hours and write, But he ain't writing deep, meaningful, political, philosophical, poetic stories, Just listen to One Mic by Nas and tell me if you wrote that on the Nas. Listen to Everyday Struggle by Biggie. You're sitting there thinking about these lyrics, bro. Nowadays, I listen to the music and I have to ask myself, how much thinking went into this? And if it's not enough thinking, it's not enough passion, it's not enough dedication, it's not going to be the best work you could possibly get. And I'm not them. End of the day, they're making millions. Congratulations to them. Like, as Oscar Wilde said, to him, there's two types of creators, You've got an artist and you've got a craftsman. An artist is someone who expresses from the soul. What does express from the soul means? It means you have a message and you want to deliver it. You know what I'm saying? A meaningful message, okay? And the difference is there's some others we call ideological expressions. They're the ones that every opinion is shared. You know what I'm trying to say? You look at them, you're like, that's just a faction. That's ideological. But an expression from the soul is something, wow. No one can express your opinion like you, Whatever Tupac says, I can say the same words, but can I deliver it like him? No, he's a creative individual who expresses directly from the soul.
Do you consider yourself a creative, right?
Yeah. But then, the other type of creator, is the craftsman. So the craftsman is someone who looks at the market, looks at what the trends are, looks at what everyone's doing, and creates a product that's, okay, let me self-check myself for a sec. Okay, let me explain it because I need to see my thought through. They create something for the market in order to make money. You know what I'm saying? So they create for the market to achieve material gain. There is no message. Someone who makes a plastic box and sells it on Amazon, they're making, say they put a quote on the side, be better in life. Okay, that's a shit example. Say a song. We're on the song subject. Someone creates a song. You can tell it's not much thinking, but it's a song that's really trending right now. People love this kind of music. They make it for the market. Why? You can generate money. There's no message in there. There's no nothing. But then again, am I being unfair? Because
no, I don't think so. But then because when I think creative, I'm thinking about your first example, like what you just spoke about just then. To me, isn't so much creative. It's more so meeting people's needs. Like,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? But when something is pure expression authentic, like you feel it, like, and the right people feel that.
That's true.
And that's why I ask you, like, so do you consider yourself a creative? And if so, what would you say your form of creative expression is?
Wow, great question. I absolutely, I would say I'm a creative, you know? Like, I'm young still, but I'm 24. There's other people who achieved creative things at my age, but the stuff that I want to do and create is for the long, long, long term. You know what I'm trying to say? So I would say I'm a creative, but the works that I'll do now won't work now in this present time because there's more clever people than me. There's more popular people, and there's some people, and we live in a time of distrust and a little bit of suspicion.
Yeah.
So I think people listen to what I'll say at the beginning. I'm only young. But maybe down the future where people get open-minded again to listen to someone, they might want to listen to me maybe, you know? But I'm actually really creative because, and this isn't my favorite kind of expression. I love podcasting, but don't get it twisted. Conversating like this is amazing. Like the time I get in this room to talk is so much fun, bro, because a conversation, end of the day, is the oldest art form, you know? What precedes conversation other than sex?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And recording it on a camera is nice because I get to maybe look back at it when I'm 50, 60 and go, oh, look at me at 23, 24 thinking like that.
Even there's a misconception that if you record in that moment, you're not being present. But I think you can be like, and what you said, like it's almost like journaling, diary. Like you forget so many memories.
Yeah, you're right.
But I just want to take it because the reason I asked you like about do you consider yourself a creative, and if so, what is your creative outlet or your expression? It's because of something that's like with me recently. I never did consider myself as a creative. Until recently. So because growing up, I used to think like unless you're a musician, like a model into fashion, a clothing designer, you can't really be a creative.
Market demands craftsmanship.
But recently, like I'm big into the gym and fitness, right? And like if I was to say like what's my long-term vision, it's almost transforming the view in the fitness space and letting weightlifting and fitness being seen as a creative expression. So like the same way an artist, I've got a lot of friends out in the musical, like musicians in the industry, right? And I've been to like studio sessions and it's so beautiful, like especially we see like authentic work being made, and because you know them, they're up in their life.
That's cold.
Yeah. So I remember I'd sit down and be like, wow, like, and I remember like my friend, he turned around to me and he said, bro, the gym is your studio. And when he said that, it just, something snapped inside me and I was like, you know what, yeah, you're so right. and that's what I believe, like the way I train, maybe it's wrong, but the way I train I feel is very unique. And that's why I feel like I have a service to offer people out there in terms of the power of channeling emotion, which is applied to music. I do it the same way in my gym training. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why like I find this creative space fascinating because everyone has their own way of expressing their creativity.
Essentially, when you're training, your body's loosened up and so does your mind. So it's what you're saying spontaneously is so instinctual in a way,
Yeah, and some sessions I feel angry that day and I'm attacking that set.
You journal it.
Right. Some days I feel happy. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why, like, I feel like from the outside, like creatives look at the fitness space, your typical meatheads or guys with big muscle, like
meatheads.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I think I can transform it. Like I want to kind of bridge that the two industries. So yeah, that's why I'm very intrigued in the creative space.
That is definitely creative. Like, tell them what you do then.
So I'm this is very recent. So I used to just work a corporate job. And I realized like after a long while, I was, why do I do what I do? Like a lot of the decisions, did I actually make them? I used to work in financial services.
Oh, nice.
So like audit and assurance.
Okay, nice.
So basically my work was not creating or generating value. It was lowering risk to an acceptable amount, which was literally my job. And basically went through a phase where my body just started telling me no, like this is not it. And at first I didn't understand what was happening, but every day I'd wake up and something wasn't feeling right. So
you was only there so you don't starve.
Right. Yeah. And I had to I took a long time to reflect on myself, and it's like, what do I like to do in my free time? And like I feel like today what I feel so passionate about is this whole quarter life crisis thing, because previously it was known as midlife crisis, right? But today's generation, it's become a quarter life crisis because we're so exposed, we're so distracted constantly that people just are not living life. They're not present. Like, a lot of people are living to until this or until that or until this status symbol, that we forget to live life. And recently, I've told myself, what do I actually want to do? And I'm big into fitness. So
how do you do mental training?
Mental training, how do I do it?
Because fitness is good. It trains the body becomes good.
Yeah, so...
But you don't want to neglect the mind training.
Right. So that's why, for me, like, they go hand in hand. So the way I train...
How they go hand in hand?
Yeah, so I train to failure, intensity, and I proper push myself, like, to absolute failure in the gym every set. And doing so, it almost, like, expands my mind.
And do you do that in every other aspect of your life and burn out quick and get tired and achy?
This is quite a new process for me, so I think I'm battling with that currently.
Yeah, it happens.
Almost so, like, because my eyes have opened up and I'm like, okay,
You're just rubbing your eyes right now.
Yeah. Every like moment I'm thinking productivity.
Oh, yeah, I'm like this 24/7 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't... oh, man, I can't say don't. Who am I to give advice? But
no, bro. What does that even... Of course, bro.
God. I'm just trying to be humble, yeah?
No, bro. Ego's the enemy. We're all students.
That is so true, bro. Yeah. The book is literally looking at me.
The book is there. That was one of the first like proper books I read.
Yeah, but don't neglect the mind. And don't... Oh, man. Because it's definitely subjective and it depends on your experiences. A lot of people our age, especially I'm 24, you're 23, right?
Yeah.
They want to trade in their youth so bad for adulthood. And I'm in a question, like, I don't want to be 50 saying, did I rush to grow up? The only way I just want to live my youth a little bit. I could go hard on this podcast. I could do more marketing. I could 10 times work harder, but I want to enjoy my youth a little bit.
Right.
But then again, I guess sacrifice comes. But at what cost?
The two can go hand in hand though?
They can, but there's a third enemy here.
Okay.
You can go anytime, bro. That haunts me sometimes still. So I'm like, okay, I work hard. But boy, imagine if I wake up in heaven and the last 1 year of my life, I was just grinding 24/7. And I basically made it a virtue that I work hard. That's what it's almost self-glorification.
Okay.
I'm so good. Instead of being lazy, I'm better off working my ass off. So you make a virtue out of servitude to your ideals, basically. But I don't know, man. I don't have the answers.
So like with the mental training aspect, because like for me, like long distance running is my mental training.
But it's physical training.
It is, I know, but like
mental training is reading new perspectives. Like Plato says, learning cleans perceptions.
Right.
How running and doing this stuff, yes, it creates mental fortitude, I would say. Mental toughness, realizing that the body and the mind can go on despite otherwise. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes. But the world, you're not living in that state of survival. You're dealing with social relationships, you're dealing with people, workplaces, any opportunity where you might have to come out anytime. What is giving you perspective? What's building you character? What's making you understand the world? What is helping you find yourself? Who are you looking up to? I don't think you can find that doing bench press.
100%.
So there's such thing as mental training and physical training. The whole point of the Greeks and philosophy, Plato, Socrates is saying, don't neglect the mind, bro. Because once you do that, you get to 40, your body deteriorates, and your body can't train like it used to. It can't eat like it used to. It can't work like it used to. It can't have sex like it used to. And what have you got left? A mind that has been untrained.
Right.
Therefore, you haven't got the mental fortitude
100%
to deal with the fall off of youth.
100%.
And I've said this before on my podcast, but I like to keep re-saying it because it's a message I feel strongly about.
True. I think, like, even like that's why like content I take in, I'm more conscious of now. Like, there's some podcasts I listen to, I'm so like blow my mind. One recent one was Gabor Mate.
Oh yeah,
Diary of CEO.
Some guy earlier told me he's gonna go watch his talk today.
Oh, he has a talk today.
Yeah, he has it.
What? And like you're saying when you're saying how are you learning X, Y, Z? I feel like up until now, I've become very aware, and I feel like my life lead up to now, I've learned from my experiences, and I've become aware of my past. And now it's that step of the reading the books and learning.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I get you.
Another one, the inspiration's huge, bro, because like I think that's something I had to deal with. Like growing up, I was the oldest sibling in it, so
Oldest.
I was used to like always being the first to do something, sorting my whatever out first. Or,
lead by example.
Right. And that made me think I have to get everything done myself. Like I can't ask for help. I can't use someone as an inspiration.
No excuses.
Right. And if I do that, I'm begging it or I'm almost inferior. And what I've realized now is that is just so backwards. Anyone you see that is successful will tell you that inspirations, mentors, people they looked up to. And at the end of the day, they might pioneer something in their own way, but they've drawn inspiration from many different aspects, and it's just about how they've then gone about that.
It's true.
So yeah, the inspiration things. Luke Belmar as well. He had a talk with Mike Thurston recently, and what he was saying was just hitting. And like for me, like one of the biggest things is about appreciating community. I feel like in today's age, community has died, bro, and especially men. Like this is another thing that's one of my biggest drivers recently has given me purpose is to help men. Like suicide rates are crazy.
It's
bro.
one of the reasons I started this.
Do you get me? And like I know what I've went through in it. I know how tough it can be. So,
tell me about it, man.
So when I went through what I went through, it's like how many people were there for me to access that could make me feel like, oh, I've gone through this. Because when you're going through it, you feel so alone, bro. And that's even why now I want the exposure. I want my message to be heard. Not necessarily because of status or because of material items.
Status is just a means for the message.
Right.
And that's what people think. People are just saying all these cute messages, thinking they just want to get famous and rich. No. How else are you meant to inspire?
Exactly, bro. That's why, like, even with your podcast, bro, do it, bro, because you don't know, there might be someone that needs to hear your podcast.
It's true.
And even when you start these things, like let's say your boy starts this, like comments. Bro, the people in your environment might not necessarily be your target audience. And that's fine. Just do it. If one person hears your material and that might save their life, that's worth, do you know what I'm saying? It's weight in gold.
Do you know what's interesting about the podcast? At the beginning, like people who know me, they know me. I've always been like, how I am on the podcast is exactly how I am outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like I don't switch up. And a podcast is something been in my mind for a long time, even before I ever started it. And people always just, all my boys, everyone I called a friend, they always say, yo, you should start a podcast, start a podcast. I'm like, yeah? They're like, wallahi, bro, yeah? If you start a podcast, I'm going to shout you out. I'm going to show you support.
Yeah.
I'm like, calm, I start it. Only a few people like showing love. And I'm thinking, it's all talk, bro. That was the hardest thing I had to deal with, man. Because I want to message some of the people, but like, come on, bro, you're meant to be my boy, you're meant to be showing love. You shout out like brothers, rapper, music videos and stuff. But again, this is just resentment and I can't blame them. I can't. What can I do? They're their own individual. They're focused on their own thing. You know what I'm trying to say? And I've got nothing to offer them right now as far as internet clout goes. If you share me, they click on my account, I had like 50, 60 followers. I've only got like 350 recording. Thank you for 350, by the way, on Instagram. That's a milestone. I predicted, I said, by August, I should hit it.
Yeah.
Got me to October, but...
Bro, you're doing well, man.
I'm doing well, man. Follow a day keeps the negative thoughts away.
Exactly.
That's what I have to say to myself every day, you know. But it's not about the followers, it's about a means to the message.
Right.
But yeah, that was a difficult part about the podcast, man. Like, oh, God. Sometimes I'll get the mic messed up. Sometimes this mic won't be on. Do you know how many episodes I've had to scrap because I've recorded? I'm like, bruv, the mic is half plugged in and I can't hear me or him. He kept going.
Yeah.
I'm like, But, you know, I just feel meaningful about this.
Yeah.
And I feel weird opening up because it puts you in a vulnerable position, I would say.
I always used to hear there's strength in vulnerability, cry, XYZ. Obviously, as guys, we're all thinking like, what's that about?
There is strength in vulnerability.
I think there is, bro.
But there's also weakness in vulnerability.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's both sides. And it takes wisdom to pick when to be vulnerable.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because for me, like, I'm just a true believer in just be your authentic self, all out, honest communication, like, don't switch up in your environments, and things will align externally. Like, once you're internally aligned, the external aligns.
And what do you think's aligning it?
Understand my purpose. So being purpose. Like, I think even when you spoke about your podcast, for example, and like, oh, my boys don't shine out, XYZ. Like, for me, I'm big on it's the why, not the what. So if your intentions are true to your authentic self, it does not matter. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, absolutely, bro.
Sorry, and you asked me about the alignment. I think, as I said, bro, I was working a finance job. I was waking up every day. What am I really doing? Like, and then I went on my fitness journey. So I had basically issues with like body dysmorphia previously.
Mad, same here, you know.
Yeah, and like these are all things I want to talk about because I'm comfortable with it. I've gone through it, and how many other guys are going through it, will go through it,
facts,
don't know how to deal with it, and I don't mind being one of the voices to.
You'll take the bullet for them,
right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Body dysmorphia is a real thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I've always grown up having this mindset that ADHD, body dysmorphia, disorders and ideas, they're all just theories. They just hold back me. But then
life will teach you.
It takes a minute to like warm up to those ideas.
Yeah.
Like, what, me? I'm meant to be like Hercules, bro. How have I got ADHD, man? But I'm human. That's the realization.
But it's all about perception, bro. Because even, let's say ADHD, what does that actually mean? It just means your mind thinks differently.
Yeah, bro. Anytime I have really bad ADHD, bro, and I hate admitting it because it's like an excuse to me. Like, if you have ADHD, it's not an excuse, bro. You just have to think harder. That's what it is, bro. Okay. Imagine if you're born skinnier or weaker. You just have to suck it up, buddy. Yeah. Just eat more, train more. If you've got ADHD, bro, you just have to channel it. That's it. Like, I have bad ADHD, but reading really helped. It was very hard to sit there and actually think, but I always say to myself, I'm not letting my ADHD get in the way. I'm not letting it get in the way. Say I'm sitting there and I need to do like 10 different things, but I have to sit there and control myself. Like, no, you have control over this. I'm not letting some disorder have this theory can dictate my life. That's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. You have ADHD, you're more likely to act in an ADHD way and have an excuse. So many young people I work with, not in schools yet. This is just outside of school. Disclaimer. So I'm not talking about any students, because by now, this episode, at least I'd have been a teacher by now, and have a student. So there's nothing about my students. But I've worked with a lot of young kids before, especially with my mum's youth company. They'd be acting up, being silly, messing around, and I'm like, hell, it's because I've got ADHD. Like, no, bro, you just have to use your mind stronger. That's all it is. And artists tend to be ADHD.
Bro. And
so it's a strength, not a weakness. Don't let theories hold you back.
I think it's all perception, bro. It's all perception. Like, okay, if you have ADHD, but if you perceive it, because it's maybe perceived in general by society as a disorder, XYZ, but if you perceive it in a way where I can embrace this and channel it towards it serving me,
absolutely,
that's a superpower, bro.
Yeah, like, you have your own story. Now, that's your heroic arc. That's a character arc for you. It's not an excuse to not go on an adventure. Yeah. You have to use your weaknesses on right. Like, I found it so amazing to watch, bro, and it's so humbling when I see it. It's when I see say disabled people with like one leg or one arm, and they play basketball, so they're football, they're in the gym, or you see Down syndrome kids doing things that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to do, and they're smashing it, they're enjoying it, they're having fun. Like, what the fuck is my excuse? What ADHD? I fidget so much I can't be the best version of myself. Oh, at the end of the day as well, it's because I'm going to say it, man. You see stuff like, you have to remember, a lot of these psychological books people read are theories. Because they have sciencey words to them, it doesn't mean it's the truth. Yeah. In school, you're very much taught that scientists do the research, the data always shows the truth. Therefore, if the data says this, it must be the case. Right. But you're not taught like what, to a certain extent you are, but you forget it quick. Because I think it's slipped in you already that science is the truth for you at all times. Yeah. But when you get older and you read and you gain new perspective and you start understanding epistemology in different subjects, you realize, wow, science, a lot of science, especially psychology, is theory. A lot of it's theory. There's obviously the real cases of it. I'm not dismissing all psychology, but a lot of it. So I think it's better, if you want to self-help your life, improve your life, I don't think you should be reading, no, you shouldn't be. Always you should. You should learn and read everything. Yeah. But you should, don't put all your eggs into science. Mm-hmm. Do you know what we have for society that help inspire people to get their lives better and be self-helped? Artists, philosophers, poets, and speakers, Because you know why? To uplift yourself, you don't need theories. Oh my God, I'm acting this way because the neurochemicals in my brain are doing this and my biology is doing this, so I'm acting like this. No, an artist or philosopher will look you in the eye and say, being weak is a mistake. You have all the power within you. Look at the Colosseum. Look at Big Ben. Look at the art in the Louvre. You are a human. They are capable of this. Do you think they let anything get in their way to achieve these kind of things?
Yeah.
Do you think anyone got in the way of Brunelleschi, who built the Duomo in Florence? No, bro. There's no excuse. You have to work. And this is a very individualist mindset. But listen to the artists, listen to the thinkers, the writers, the geniuses. They will change your life. Not cold scientific theories that you really can't see. You have to imagine that it's going on inside of you. Think about it. You have to imagine, because you can't experience a chemical reaction in real time. They say it's happening to you. You know what I'm trying to say? But you can't physically feel it. So that's not a reliable source to change yourself, I think. It's not efficient. Read Shakespeare, bro. Go read Nietzsche. Go read Carl Jung. Oh, okay, he's a psychologist, but
Carl Jung is...
yeah, but he's a different kind of... He's a philosophy psychologist hybrid, yeah? Or watch great movies from the 50s and 60s. Because there's lessons and life lessons in there. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. Carl Jung.
Yeah, sorry, man. My mouth is dry now.
Bro, it's just passionate, man. I love it.
You have to be, man. Because too many people rely on science too much. I love it. It's good for medicine. But science, a couple 100 years ago, or the last 100 years, used to fight for human progress. Now it fights for, well, whatever the pharmaceutical companies say it is, you know, if it's this, it's that. But before it used to be towards truth, liberation, trying to make humankind better. It was a humanist idea. Now it's just like, how can we get more guala?
Yeah.
So science has shown it's failed. People moved away from God. They moved away from religion because they said, you know what, God and religion, we've given you some time to give us some answers. We're going to go listen to science now. Over 150 years later, bro, we're still in the exact same place as we was 150 years ago. And
every problem has, this medication, take this. Sometimes you got to go back to your natural human instinct. Like, that's why, for example, the running. Like,
the running?
Bro, we are built to run. Like, when I was in my toughest times or trying to find solutions, things would come to me when I'm on that run. Like, you get such a sense of clarity in the moment. I want to say one of my biggest messages, is like, everyone is your own individual. Like, if you're able to tap into an individualistic self and express yourself with no fear of judgment or rejection, it's almost a superpower. And even what you're talking about psychology, like Carl Jung, all these guys, what they preach is embracing every single aspect of yourself. Because we are humans, so we're going to make mistakes. But embrace it. And one of the biggest things for me, like things like body dysmorphia, all of these issues that we face, is because of how we view ourselves, how we speak to ourselves in our mind.
Projection.
So, for example, let's say you want to do the diet, or you want to go gym 5 times a week, or you want to, I don't know, start a podcast, let's say, It might not happen because of X, Y, Z. Cool. And what's your reaction to that the next day? Because I used to berate myself in my head. I used to tell myself off so hard that I would kill myself. I would kill myself in my head, bro.
Can I ask you a question, quick? Was your dad hard on you?
Yeah.
Do you think that internal voice is your dad's voice?
I think it's expectations of me. So I feel like I wasn't seen as a child. That wasn't because external issues occurring, the focus wasn't there on me. So I felt like I had to be absolutely perfect 24/7.
Is that how your dad treated you?
My dad...
Because what I've noticed in my life, my dad was like that.
Yeah.
And I'm very hard on myself and I berate myself and I expect more of myself. Yeah. Then I went to therapy, and this woman said to me, you've just internalized your dad's way of discipline. Yeah. The way you learnt to discipline is the way your dad disciplines you. So you do the same to yourself. Yeah. And then I thought how far did I get my dad? My dad ain't no rich businessman. He didn't do nothing. Oh, it sounds so bad to say. But he's not alive anymore, so it's okay to speak on it, okay?
Hey, rest in peace, bro.
Thank you, bro. He's not alive anymore. So I get to observe his life as if it's a character in a story now. So if you're watching, I'm narrating your story. But it's good to talk about him, because it makes him alive still. And I like to talk about him as if he's alive. So many times with people, they'll be like, how was your dad last? I'm like, you don't know. They're like, oh no, you talk like he's alive. It's better to be this way. What was my point there? Fuck, I do this.
Your point was you're internalizing how...
Yeah. And I was like, damn, he was very hard on me. Therefore, he must have been very hard on himself. And he was very hard on himself. Alcoholic. He started just turning into, let's say, not the highest version of himself. And he gained liver cancer and died. So if that was his attitude towards himself, and he's installed that in me, It's my job to reverse engineer that.
The generation.
Break the curse. Stop being hard on myself. Because, Baba, it's so difficult.
And you even mentioned, bro.
It's so difficult.
How was his dad on him?
Oh, no, mother.
Okay, mother.
Yeah.
But this is why, like, self-awareness, childhood traumas, all these things are so, like, because for me, my eyes opened to a lot of stuff at one point, and I almost felt reborn. Like, when we talk about the Matrix and you're living under, like, a life of suppression, not aware of your surroundings.
Mums.
I cannot stress this enough. It is true. And once your eyes open, don't get twisted. They don't open and then everything aligns. No. They open and you maybe take 6 months, a year, coming to terms with everything and understanding. But then it's like action. What am I going to do with this information? Because I was very careful. Like, okay, childhood traumas made me this, and this, not able to love myself. But now you see a lot of days of people loving to use it as an excuse to not get better in the future.
Yeah.
And almost as like a crutch.
Oh, absolutely. You see that everywhere. See it all the time. I'm perfect the way I am. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And the person that's usually saying that, you look at them and the way they talk and how they look, you're like, of course you'd say that. Because working hard is harder than what you're doing right now.
Exactly, bro.
It's annoying when people say that. Like, you see the video, like, what do you rate yourself out of 10? 10. I'm perfect. Nothing wrong with me. You're like, okay, so self-love is really
what's life for then? What is life for, bro?
What is it there?
If we're perfect, then what reason do I have to live for tomorrow?
Yeah. Like, everything that has life has the same reaction to life. The will to grow stronger. Kaizen. That's it. A plant only feeds off its environment to grow stronger.
Yeah.
The reason the animal kingdom all exists because one gains strength, one perishes against one other's strength. And the same with life. You know, your only job is to get as strong as possibly you can, mentally, and physical can sometimes take away from the mental can take away from the physical. So I would argue you have to have a nice equilibrium balance between the two. And then your job is to get as strong as you can.
Yeah.
That's it. And let's see where you go from there. That includes also making the weak, not letting the weak make you feel guilty for wanting to be strong. That happens a lot. Look at who do you think you are starting a podcast? Man. Who do you think you are doing what you do? You think you're strong? You think you're better than us? No.
It's all projections, bro.
Don't let that. That's what Nietzsche said. I love Nietzsche, bro. You need to read this guy, man. Everyone needs to read this guy. He just said, he goes, no, don't let anyone make you feel guilty for being strong or confident.
Never.
So many confident people out there end up becoming weak and so shy because everyone made them feel bad for being confident. And
bro, how is being selfish viewed as a bad thing? Like, and of course, don't get twisted. I'm not saying, but guys, we have to be. First of all, it literally contradicts itself because if you want to help the people you love, you have to be the best version of yourself to do that. And to be the best version of yourself, you've got to be selfish. Like, it's so easy, bro, to focus on everyone else's problems and negate your own. The hardest thing is actually being very critical of yourself, pausing and thinking, addressing your own issues. And what I found is like, a lot of times you'll try to help someone talk about it. The first thing people do is, look at something, do you know what I'm saying? So, that's a big one for me.
I think while we're giving advice, I think this is the perfect time to do the quotes.
The quotes, yeah.
We've got like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
10, 15. We see how it goes.
Okay,
they know more than us. They know how long is left on the bar, innit?
Yeah.
That's just mind blowing for me, innit? Cool. Ching Chang Walla, who goes first?
Okay, cool. Rock, paper, scissors.
Do you call it Ching Chang Walla or rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, bro.
What's Ching Chang Walla? Does anyone?
That's the first I've ever heard this.
Ching Chang Walla. Ching Chang Walla.
Bro, this is the first I've ever heard that.
What do you do? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Or we could do shoot as well. I don't mind.
Yeah, or people, Americans do this.
Yeah.
That's too quick, too much. Slow down, baby girl.
Rock, paper, scissors or rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
That's like Ching Chang Walla. I don't know where I got Ching Chang Walla from.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
I hope someone backs me.
Okay. Alright. Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, fuck. I'll go first.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, we got the phones.
Oh, no. I've got... Yeah, I know mine off my head anyway.
Oh, yeah, cool. I'm not sure if people...
Yeah, I know mine off my head.
Go on.
The first one is going to be by Isaac Newton. Yeah, he said, if I see further than most, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants.
Okay.
How do you interpret that?
If I see further than most, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants.
I actually want to see how you perceive this.
So obviously, the higher up you are, the further out you see in terms of horizon. So I think what he's talking about, maybe with such great knowledge, he sees further ahead, referring to the giant. The giant can be his environment or his foundations.
Or the people he looks up to.
The people he looks up to, okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's standing on the shoulders of giants. Throughout history, there's been so many genius or heroic thinkers and educators and teachers and preservers of knowledge. Yeah. And he can see so far into the future because he's just standing on what's already been preserved in society. So it's always a quote to remind myself that, okay, if I've got a hero or I'm watching too much of a content I shouldn't be watching, or too stuck on reels, or watching silly little comedy videos on Instagram I shouldn't be doing, or YouTube, I'm not standing on the shoulders of giants. I'm standing on the back of frogs.
Right.
If I want, everything I want to do is towards the future. I want to get a better future and see further. Because if I can see further, I can architect things much better. And in order to do that, I need knowledge and wisdom. So I need to stand on the shoulders of great heroes who will help me foresee better into the future. Philosophers, painters, writers, novelists, poets. Because through them lives a lineage of wisdom and knowledge. You know, and my job, I guess, or a lot of young people out there, our job is to stand on their giants and the next generation stand on our giants. So it is a quote that keeps me in check.
Okay.
So yeah, I love this quote.
Good, that's a good quote.
Yeah. I've come with crackers today, I promise you.
Okay, I've got one. I'm gonna have to get my phone.
Yeah, no problemo, bro.
Because
this ain't school.
This one, I saw. So it's by John Wheeler. He was in The Ego's Enemy, and it says, "As our island of knowledge grows, so does the shore of our ignorance."
Whoa, say that again.
As our island of knowledge grows, so does the shore of our ignorance. Island of knowledge grows, so does the shore of our ignorance.
No, I heard it. I'm just processing it. I'm interpreting. I like that imagery, you know. Like it's already sitting on my head, the shores.
Visualize it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect abstract connection, you know. Why do you like that?
Because it comes down to you're always learning this life. And the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
The only thing I know is I know nothing. Yeah.
So that's why the island of knowledge grows, but the shore is growing too. And that's why it's so important. Don't fear failure. Seek growth. Always be a student. Live every single day open-mindedness, like willing to learn, willing to strive for continuous improvement. And it comes down to like the principle of Kaizen, which can be applied to every aspect of life.
And what is the principle of Kaizen?
So basically Kaizen is about continuous improvement, not striving for perfection. Because
just grow stronger and see where you go.
And guys, like, as I said, we're humans. So you might have bad days. You might have days where you didn't do what you wanted to do, but don't have 0 days. Have days where, okay, you might not have got everything done, but when you go to sleep that night, you can say, you know what I'm saying? At least I got 1 or 2 things done. And I just want to take it back quickly because I think we were speaking about our internalized issues with our dads and stuff. My biggest thing that helped me overcome a lot of my situations is like, talk to yourself in your head how you talk to your best friend if they came and told you they've just had the maddest problem and they've effed up in the biggest way. Talk to yourself in that way too. Like, you almost have to detach yourself from yourself and be like, okay, yesterday I didn't do this. Leon, it's okay. We're going to get through this. It'll be fine. Like, so being kind to yourself will allow you to move forward. So yeah, that's one of the quotes.
Second quote?
Second quote.
I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah.
So. All right. I don't know why I'm getting this out, but I don't want to stutter.
Like me.
Okay. There's so many. Oh yeah, I stutter sometimes, man. Okay, that one was out of the way. Oh no, that's too political. That one. That one's way too.
No rules, bro. No rules.
Yeah, but that one's like my social battery's got to be really high to explain.
I hear it.
But if you want to see it, I'll say it one day. Do you know what I'm gonna say? I don't care actually.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not political. It's just I'm thinking, what am I trading off for this one? Problem is, it's my podcast in a way. Well, it is. And I've said so many quotes on here. I've used up a lot of my favourite ones. So I'm really digging into the toolbox right now. You know what I'm trying to say? I've got one.
That's where you find the good stuff.
Okay, ready for this one?
Okay, I'm ready.
By Nietzsche in Beyond Good and Evil, section 860. For you people, what's the reference? You know? The terrible consequences of equality. In the end, everybody thinks he's entitled to every problem. In the end, everybody thinks he's entitled to every problem. The consequences of equality. So a lot in our society, especially in our generation, the words that you'll hear more than anything is diversity, inclusion, and equality, which I agree with. It's good. We have to learn new perspectives. I'm always open to this. But if you drive home the idea of equality, that means all of our problems are equal as each other. If this group or these people or that individual receives help more than you, or it's perceived that they get more help than you, you think you are entitled to the exact same help they are getting, which in theory, you're right. But that is the consequence of equality. Mm-hmm. In the end, it creates a lot of divide, a lot of, you know that scene in Nemo? There was the seagulls, mine, me, mine. That's what happens. We're out to solve a problem, say X does, and everyone goes, me, my problem. So that's why on social media, it feels like a fragmented world. This group is screaming for help. This group is screaming for help. This group, this person, look, who do we help first? Because if we do help one group first, they're going to accuse us of being favoritism to them. So the consequence of equality is that no one shall get help. That's the ultimate equality.
Really? Is that like crabs in the bucket?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is true. True equality is no one should get help. Because it's too hard when everyone wants to get help.
Yeah.
And do you think we live in a world nowadays where someone can facilitate all that? Yes, art can. But your turn.
Okay.
While you do that, I'm going to check my last quote. That wasn't that bad, that quote, when I deep it.
I don't think it was that bad. I was thinking come with something crazy if it's that.
Yeah, but I'm very anxious about what... I still care what people think, unfortunately.
Do you? Internally aligned, bro. Love yourself.
I know. I'm just trying to... You know what it is? I'm so put off by Andrew Tate, and his over-the-top personality. I sometimes want to repress mine and my frustrations because I don't want to be thrown into that same category as him. Because I'm a man end of the day, and men are very under the hotspot. Any arrogance or expression I show, I'll immediately be thrown into that category.
Suicide rates in men are what? So if that's what it takes to help the men, then so be it. My one now is one by Carl Jung.
Oh wow!
And it says, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens."
Oh wow! Wow, that's a really heavy one. You can even perceive dreams and swap that word out with ideals. If you look into your ideals, the awaken comes out. Because ideals, in the day, the best image you see of yourself, in a sense, is a dream. It's imagined. But the minute you really observe and analyze within that dream, you're right, you awaken. Because you find the real you in there.
Yeah.
Or you imagine the real you in there. Yeah, but why does that relate to you, that quote? That's a really good quote, bro.
Because, from a young age, I just suppressed myself, bro. Like any sort of expression was diminished. And then it got to a point where it's like, okay, you hear a song, you want to dance. I shouldn't dance. Do I like this song? Yeah, I like this song, but these guys might think this song is moist. Like all these sort of things, you just begin suppressing.
The herd made you feel guilty for being...
Right. And maybe it's not even the herd. Maybe it's just my own projections within myself.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Like when you love yourself, it's fine. It doesn't matter. The herd, you might find the right herd eventually, just being yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think one of the biggest things I realized now recently is that I read The Ego's Enemy, right? And it teaches you about the ego. And then some people may take that as I've killed my ego, but we're humans. We have an ego. I think my biggest thing is we're all gonna have issues and bad things that we do. Is just being aware of them.
Oh yeah,
that's the biggest thing. And another thing that Carl Jung talks about that relates to the quote is the ugly side that we all have to each other, the dark side. Everyone has it. Everyone has
shadow self.
The shadow self, right? That's the one. Guys, embrace your shadow self. Express your shadow self within obviously
reason,
within reason and context.
But don't be scared to get a bit frisky.
Yeah, and the more you suppress, the worse it gets. I'm telling you. just realize the shadow self. That's why awareness is so like, when you become so hyper aware of yourself, your emotions.
Yeah, the only way to know others is knowing yourself.
Exactly.
And knowing yourself is hyper awareness.
Right. We all have coping mechanisms, stuff we're not happy with, but it's recognizing what's the trigger for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make it, all these things, it's fascinating stuff. And another one that even relates to that, sorry to go off topic, but...
We'll make your third quote.
A third quote. Oof. But this is not really so much a quote.
No, just finish your thought. Cool. That's my thought.
So, in terms of like, if anyone has any vices or addictions, I'd say a lot of our first instinct is, I need to cut out this. But what I heard recently that is so true and helped me was, what can I replace this with? So if you have a bad coping mechanism or a bad addiction, replace it with a good coping. I think it was like a positive feedback loop.
I've seen this as well.
Yeah,
because when you cut out, you leave a void, and that void screams for whatever got cut out to come back. And the reason you had
it before to deal with.
It's kind of like Hydra. You know, you cut one head off to grow back.
Yes.
Similar imagery.
Yes.
Okay, last quote, yeah, and we can wrap up.
Cool.
This one again is like a weird one, but it just always rings in my head, yeah. I have two, but I'm going to sacrifice the other one because I've already done a Nietzsche quote and I don't want to do two of them. He's just that good, bro. This one is from a poem, yeah?
Okay.
By John Keats. If you know, you know. It's called On Elgin Marbles, yeah?
Elgin Marbles.
Yeah. Elgin Marbles.
Elgin Marbles.
And I'm not going to say the whole poem, but there's just these two lines, yeah? Boy, like, I've never read a poem in my life, ever. And I've read a lot. That got me this line, this one. Like, I was... Like, the whole day I was obsessed with it. It was, I feel like I must die, like a sick eagle looking at the sky.
Okay. I feel like I must die.
Okay. Boy, to me, how I perceive this quote is in so many different ways. Like, I write in my journal, Zach, yeah? My cousin. Stop calling me when I'm doing my podcast, bro. We're going Box Park after.
Okay.
Anyway, what was I going to say?
Can I give you my perceptions? Because I've heard it for the first time and I want to see, like, you've probably thought about it more. Is the eagle flying in the sky as it's dying? Or is the eagle grounded?
How do you perceive it? Is it just one of them quotes, the more you look into it, the more it looks back into you?
So I feel like a sick eagle
looking at the sky. I feel like I must die like a sick eagle looking at the sky. Imagine an eagle, you're always flying high, always good, and you come sick. You feel like, and you look up at it and it looks so far away. You're so at the bottom, bro, you know? And you just feel like you must die. This is the end. Like how my wing, I can't fly like I used to. Yeah. And it's like, and if an eagle's not good in the sky, what's it good for? You know? It's just so many ways to perceive it. And I write in my journal a lot and I try and re-break it around so many times. I just feel like I must die, like a sick eagle looking at the sky. It can even be anxiety, you know, where you're scared of the future. You should be flying high, but you think you're sick and you won't be able to. So you feel like you must die. I don't know. There's just so many ways to look at it. I think
that's the beauty about a lot of these quotes. Everyone will have their own way of interpreting it.
I still don't have a set interpretation.
I think maybe you don't need to. Like,
I don't need to.
That's the beauty of it, bro.
To me, it's a painting in my head. I can't give it words because I don't think all the words used are already used.
Isn't it crazy? Like sometimes, like something makes so much sense in your head, but then when you try to like articulate it,
that's the difference. Knowledge speaks to the intellect. Wisdom speaks directly to intuition. Direct intuition.
Okay.
It goes straight. It feels like you've been stabbed in the heart sometimes because that's what intuition is.
You feel it.
It's a dagger in the chest.
Right.
Yeah, your turn.
Final quote. This one, like a lot of people know, but the man who enjoys the journey will always travel further than the man that seeks the destination.
That's one of the best ones.
And it's so true. Like, a lot of us are like, success, I want to get to this, I want to get to that. First of all, cases in point. Look at all the guys that are successful. They'll tell you that their best moments were on that journey, learning the new skills. Like, especially when you're purpose-led and driven, you know why you're doing what you're doing. Like, okay, let's say I'm making content. I've started very recently making content. It's very new to me, and editing and these sort of things, it can be frustrating. But enjoy the process of learning. Like, that's the beauty of it. And day by day, you get better and you get better, and things keep improving, Kaizen, and eventually, you know what I'm saying? There's no limit.
Right.
When it's like with anyone looking to, with fitness or improve your lifestyle, these sorts of things, shift your perspective. People say, oh, the gym, I need to go gym, or I need to go on this run. But it's a form of self-love, guys.
Just act.
Just do it. Like, shift your perspective of it. Tell yourself, this is me loving myself. Like, it's about how you approach a lot of these things. And when someone, and overall, like, with that quote, is what are your drivers? So if someone's driver is money, woman, status, for me, will those drivers stand the test of time? In your toughest times, will that get you through it? Whereas someone that has a greater purpose outside of them, to have an impact on others, these sorts of things, those are the people that, no matter what, times might be tough, but they remind themselves, this is what I'm doing, and they will travel further.
Facts. Bro, and I think that's how we're going to sound out the episode, bro. I can't really top up much more than that. Just say your name and socials.
Yeah, so my name's Leon Hasimi. All my socials are Leon Hasimi. So Instagram, leon.hasimi. Personal brand, Riyadh. Authenticity.
I say the same. Riyadh at Riyadh Hasimi.
Okay. Do you
like, what more do I need? Not .ghosts, _ plugs, Sosa.
All you see is what you get.
GG.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube soon. Loading that one. But yeah.
Inshallah. But yeah, thank you guys. Great episode. I'm sure we'll do a part 2 at some 100%. Point.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate that, bro. Like, subscribe, comment. There's no more words to be said. Everything's been left on the dance floor. So
let's go.
Thank you.